Well, hello, Eddie Lemoine, and welcome to this month's newsletter. This month, we're going to talk about a topic that I'm seeing quite a bit. You know, as a professional speaker, I spend a lot of time at conferences and in hotels, and I'll often go down and I'll look at what other people are speaking on or what other conferences are happening. And a theme that I see repeatedly, and probably a little bit more lately as we see a bit of a downturn in the economy, is this whole strategy of how do we do more with less. In fact, if you do a Google search on doing more with less, you'll have over 300 million hits. So a lot of firms are trying to figure out how do we do more with less. But I got to ask the question, is doing more with less a flawed strategy? And I really believe it is. In fact, I think the right strategy would be how do we do less with less? And that's right, how do we do less with less? Because think about it, when we ask people to do more with less, normally what we're doing is we're asking people to work extra time, maybe work through their lunch or put some overtime in or not take their vacation time. The other thing that we often do is we often ask people to do things that are not within their strengths. So we need you to step up. We need you to do these extra things. And there may not be the things that people enjoy doing or things that they're even really good at it. But if we look at a strategy of doing less with less, where we focus our attention on the things we're really good at, and we get our employees to align the strengths or things that they're really good at with what we're trying to achieve, what we actually have is we have higher levels of morale, higher levels of productivity, higher levels of profitability, capacity built within your organization. So it really is the right alternative. So in this month's newsletter, we're going to give you a couple bullets on things that will be able to help you. And one of the first things is as an organization, it's good to kind of divest yourself of things that are not your strengths. And I know it's counterintuitive to what a lot of people think about during these harder economic times. A lot of people will think, well, we got to do more. Let's go offer more products and services to try and bring more revenue into our organization. But actually, it normally works against a company. And I'll give you an example. On the weekend, I bought lawn furniture, and there was 2 chairs to put together. The first chair, it took me 3 times to get it together because I kept realizing I forgot to do things or things are pointing in the wrong direction. The second chair, I did it like that. And that's what happens when you're good at things. Once you've learned and you're good at it. So there are companies out there that are really good at the things that you're not. I'd let them do that, and you do the things that you're really good at. The other is to focus the attention of your staff on those strengths. So align the strengths of your staff so that they're working in conjunction with what you're trying to achieve in your organization. They'll be much more productive and you'll build more capacity into your organization. Keep open, constant communication. I think during harder economic times, it's probably more important than ever. The younger your workforce, the more important it is as well to have that open, constant communication. Because what happens is if they're worrying and you're not talking about it, what happens is they start to suspect, well, maybe you know something I don't. Maybe things are worse, or maybe I might get laid off. So during harder economic times, I would ramp up communication. Even if you don't know what's going on, I would ramp up communication during those times just so that people at least know that you don't know. And the last thing is, I kind of say goodbye to the jack of all trades. If we look at the baby boomers in the workplace as they head off into their well-deserved retirement, a lot of baby boomers became jack of all trades. So you might have someone in your organization that does your technology, and they also do finance, and they're also part of sales, and well, if we look at a younger workforce that's coming in behind the baby boomers, they're more specialist. We train them both in post-secondary school and to be good at certain things. So I wouldn't look at, oh, Billy's retiring and we're going to replace Billy's position and John's going to get that position. I would look at Billy's retiring, here are the 8 or 9 things that Billy does, and how do we divide those 8 or 9 things among employees within the organization that's their strengths. So it's a great opportunity to take a series of things that people worked on and move them into people that could actually do them better, or that would be leveraging their strengths. So kind of in closing, I'd have to say the do more with less is probably not a very valid strategy. The right thing would be, how do we do more with, how do we do less with less? So how do we leverage the strengths of our organization? How do we leverage the strengths of the people that are in it? So I hope you enjoy this month's newsletter, and if you ever want to chat, feel free to reach out to me. All my contact information is on this webpage, and as I always say, live your dreams. Have a wonderful month. I'm Eddie Lemoine.